Hello, it's Ren Presents time. I'm your host, Ren, and today, Earth's mightiest hero, Brie Larson, astounded us all with an impressive feat of physical strength by pushing a 5,000-pound Jeep down the street. 5,000 pounds, that's 2.5 tons worth of Jeep that the bane of all white men, Brie Larson, was pushing, and it is most impressive. But let me tell you a quick story about this Brie. 5,000-pound Jeep ain't all that. You have 5,000 pounds sitting on the four wheels, distributing the weight of the vehicle evenly to the ground. Therefore, you're not pushing 5,000 pounds. You're pushing the weight that it takes to overcome the friction of the four wheels to get them to start spinning. It's not that hard. So listen, back in the late 80s when I was going to college at The Ohio State University, my folks didn't want me to have to walk the mile or so to school across a perilous highway, so they bought me a car. It was like a $300 car. It was old and nasty. They didn't go all out. It was basic transportation. And this car had an annoying habit of if it sat too long, it would not start, kind of defeating the purpose of having a car in the first place. Fortunately for me, it was a manual transmission stick shift car, and there's a pretty surefire way to start the engine of a pesky manual transmission car if it doesn't want to turn over. So here's what I did, and mind you, I was doing this all by my goddamn self. Every morning, to get the car going, I had to do the following steps. First, I take off the parking brake. Second, I had to put the car into neutral, move the stick shift into the neutral position. I then had to take a throwing knife and pin the clutch down to the floorboards and jam the knife up into the bay there so that it would hold the pedal down. That done, I had to crank the wheels so that when I started pushing the car, it wouldn't hit anything. And then I had to get behind the car and start pushing. And I couldn't go just, a couple of miles an hour. I had to get that thing going. I had to get it at least 10, 12, maybe up to 15 miles an hour of just with me pushing the car. And I had to keep up with the car. And once I got it to 15 miles an hour, I had to run faster than 15 miles an hour, which isn't easy for a white boy. You know, right, Brie? Those pesky white men and their physical limitations. I can't fly like you can. I'd have to run up, throw myself into the driver's seat, close the door. I would then have to kick the throwing knife aside, thereby popping the clutch. And then that would engage the flywheel on the engine, and it would turn over and start. Worked every time, but I had to not only push the car, I had to rig the clutch, I had to steer so I wouldn't hit anything, and I had to get that sucker going. And I did it. That means I too have superpowers. Brie, you're not the only one. Pushing a damn car is easy. Destroying the MCU, now that's hard. Anyways, this is Ren Presents. I'm your host, Ren. And when you see me pushing a car down the street, respect, respect, respect.